Start lying on your back, feet as wide as the mat, palms face up by your sides. You might put a little pressure into the legs to see if you can take the curve out of your lower back, and then rest and the curve will come back, but just allow that to happen. Turn your palms to face up by your sides, press into the elbows, squeeze your shoulder blades together behind you. And we're going to take 3 breaths here. Deep inhale. Exhale out the mouth. Another deep inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. And one more time. Breathing in. Breathing out. Start to bend your knees, bringing your feet in closer to your seat, basically as close to your butt as you can. And then take your feet as wide as the mat, so when you start to feel the edges of the mat on the edges of your feet, stop there. Go ahead and grab one of your blocks, keep it as its widest height, and then just bring that in between your knees and give it a little squeeze, just enough so that the block doesn't fall. We're not trying to squish it in as hard as you can. Once again, you might try to lift up a little bit to get the curve out of the lower back. Turn your palms to face up. And we're going to take 5 breaths here. Inhaling 1. Exhale. Breathing in through the nose. Breathing out through the nose. 3. 4. 5. Go ahead and take the block. Now we're going to take it at its medium height, so from the second widest spot. Keeping your feet where they are, go ahead and just put enough pressure on the block so that it doesn't fall. Turn your palms up. Breathe in for 5. Exhaling. Inhale 4. Exhale. 3. 2. Last one. Again, go ahead and reach up and grab your block. Now we're going to take it at its thinnest place. Put it between your legs, just enough squeezing in. You might need to retuck the tailbone so that your lower back gently releases to the ground. Let your hands go by your sides. 5 breaths. Inhale for 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Go ahead and take the block off by your side. Bring your knees to squeeze all the way together. See if you can once again tuck the tailbone, lower back against the ground. And we'll take 5 more breaths. Keeping the legs together is going to be a little trickier on this one, but do your best. Inhale for 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Squeeze the legs. Excellent. Go ahead and release that. Bring your feet close together. Grab 2 blocks. And we're going to take the blocks at their highest height. And as your knees drop open, bring the soles of your feet together. And then just try to hook the corners of the block right at the knee crease. You want to be able to leave the block so you could take your hands away from them, but you might leave your hands on the block just for some extra stability. And we're gonna take 5 breaths here, letting the hips relax, letting the knees rest on your block. So 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Hug your legs back together. Take the block on its next highest height, and you can leave the blocks as wide as your knees. Again, the corner of the block finds that crease right between your calf and your hamstring. If this is too much for you, you just bring the blocks in a little bit closer, and that'll keep your legs closer together. So take it wherever you can. You do want to feel a little bit of a stretch, but not too much. Hands by your sides, and we'll breathe here for 5. 4, maybe retuck the tailbone. 3. 2. And 1. Take your legs back together. One more time, we're going to take the block at its lowest height. And again, you can bring the blocks in pretty close, or you can bring them as wide as your knees. And again, if you decide it's too much, feel free to come up to the second height, back to where we were just a moment ago. So decide where you're okay, feet together. Try to press the lower back just a little bit. You'll open up your hips, hands released by your sides. Breathe for 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Slowly take your legs back up together. Step your feet hips width apart. We can move the blocks for now. Now we're going to leave your left leg exactly where it is. I want you to try to lift your right knee just above the hip, and then try to bring your heel in line with the knee. Hands by your sides. We're going to breathe here for 5. 4. Pull the toes back. Kicking the heel. 3. 2. And 1. Go ahead and put that foot down. Taking the other side, so I have a 90-degree bend at my hip, 90-degree bend at the knee, and then a 90-degree bend at the heel. The opposite foot just stays in line with your sit bone. Breathe here. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Slowly release that foot down. Maybe just easy windshield wiper your knees side to side. This should massage out your butt a little bit, the outsides of the butt, which is really, we're starting to massage the muscles underneath your butt, which are your external hip rotators. Included in that is your piriformis, which oftentimes is the cause of any sciatica. Okay, now we're going to take a block again. Take it as its medium height. Bring the block in between your knees. You don't want it to hurt, so maybe just below the knees to the thighs. You might need your hands to support the legs to start this, but we're gonna lift the knees in line with the hips, yeah, and then lift your heels in line with the knees. Keep your hands on the legs if you need to, but if you can, let go of the legs. Turn the palms to face up. 5 breaths. Inhale, 5. Exhale. 4, breathing in. Exhale, breathing out. In for 3. Exhale. 2. And finally, reach up, grab the block, take your feet down, block over to your side. Nice windshield wipers of the knees, side to side. Really see if you can go all the way as far as you can go to each side, and you might even pause there. If it feels like a lot, that's good. We're stretching a little bit of a twist in the lower back, a little bit of an opening in those external hip rotators. Okay, so for our next exercise, simply cross your right ankle in front of the left knee. Try to let that knee drop. We want the knee and heel to start to line up parallel to one another. Take the left foot in a little closer, and we're just gonna let the gravity help pull this knee down towards the ground. So inhale for 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Switching sides. Right foot down, foot in line with your sit bone, left ankle across the knee. Let the knee drop to the best of your ability. One day it's gonna parallel. That may not happen today, that's okay. Try to open up your tailbone so the lower back can gently rest against the ground. And then lifting or letting the knee drop, we'll take 5 breaths. Inhale. 2. 3. Again. Last time. Excellent. Release that. Cross your right ankle over the left. We're taking this one level higher. So you might lift the leg up. See if you can lift the heel. You might look out. So I have a 90-degree bend at the knee, 90-degree bend at the hip, 90-degree bend at the ankle. Trying to gently help that knee away. Hands by your sides. 5 breaths. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Bend the knee, put the foot onto the ground. Help the right leg down onto the earth. Take your left leg, cross it in front of the ankle, let the knee drop. Keep your foot crossed ankle flexed. Take the knee in line with the hip. Take the heel in line with the shin. 90-degree bend at the ankle. 5 breaths. Inhale. 4. 3. 2. 1. Bend the right knee to put the foot down. Uncross the left, put that foot down. Sweep your knees side to side a couple times. And then go ahead and let that go. Okay, we might want a block handy. We'll put the block underneath your right side. Maybe put it at its medium height and about hips, at hips height. So not too low, not too high. Hips height. Draw your knees up into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. If you can't interlace your fingers, just hold on to the shins. If you can't hold on to the shins, bring your hands behind the knee, behind the calves, underneath or in front of the hamstrings. Then, trying to bring the knees over onto your block. So, if you can get the block to basically line up with your shin, then you have something to support the legs on. We just want the arms to open off to your side like a T. And then you're going to try to look over in the other direction of your knees. Let's breathe here for 5. Try to let the legs rest against one another. 4. 3. 2. And 1. You can help the legs back to center with the hands. Put your feet down. Make sure your second block is ready, about at the hips height, maybe a little lower. And then lifting your legs up, holding either hamstrings, shins, or even interlacing your fingers in front. Again, I'm lifting my tailbone a little bit to open up the lower back. And then I want my legs to be able to fall on that block, so the entire outside of your lower left leg is able to rest on the block. And it does require a little trial and error. Sometimes we miss. And then the arms open up by your sides. Look to your opposite, in the opposite direction of your knees. And we'll breathe our 5 breaths for 5. 4. 3. 2. Last one. Maybe use your hands to help yourself onto your back. Squeeze the knees. Release the feet down. Excellent. So you can return to that exact same twist, or take the blocks out of your way. Take the knees up, hug them in. And then if you're not using the blocks, what you're gonna try to do is get your legs all the way to the ground. What I like to do from here is use my elbows to scoot my shoulders over towards the right. Then when I open my arms, this left arm and left shoulder might be able to release down towards the ground. We're gonna look in the opposite direction of your knees, and we'll breathe here for 5. 4. See if you can squeeze your belly in on the exhale. 3. 2. Try to let the legs release against one another. Last one. Use your arms to help your legs back to center. Hug the legs in. And we're allowed to go right to the other side. So if you're using your block again, use the block. If not, keep the knees in line with the hips as you drop them over to the other side. And again, use your elbows to scoot yourself, upper body over to the left. Then extending your palms facing up. Look in the opposite direction of your knees. We want the ankles, the knees, the hips to try to stack. And we'll breathe here for 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Maybe use your hands. Help the legs back to center. Go ahead and put your feet down onto the ground. Lift up onto your tippy toes. Walk your feet in as close to your butt as you can. Maybe lift the tailbone. Release the lower back to the ground. Release the tailbone. Release the heels. From there, I'm going to lift my hips up into the sky as high as I can and reach my arms up and over my head with the palms facing up. When you exhale, really try to roll the vertebrae down onto the back until the tailbone finally touches, and I took my hands by my sides. So inhale, peeling the tailbone, lower back, mid back, upper back, arms up and over your head. Exhale, lowering the mid back, lower back, and then finally the tailbone as the hands come down to the ground. Inhale, lift up again, lower tailbone, lower, mid, rocking the weight into the upper back. Exhale, upper back lowers, mid back, lower back, finally the tailbone. 2 more times. Inhale, slowly lift up. Exhale, slowly lower down. Inhale, slowly lift up. And exhale, slowly lower down. Okay, we'll take the arms out to your sides with the palms facing up. If you can take your hands all the way in line with your shoulders, cool. If not, maybe lower is okay for you. And then try to lift your legs up and keep your knees and ankles together. Take a breath here. With your exhale, we're just going to point your knees a little bit over to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale, point them a little over to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale, again over to the right. Maybe you go a little further. Inhale through center. And then over to the second side. Inhale through center. So you decide how low you want to go here. Don't let the legs touch the ground though. Breathe through center. Tipping it over to the second side. Inhale slowly through center. Tip it over. Inhale through center. Tip it over. One more time each side. Tipping it over to the right. Inhale through center. Tip it over to the left. Breathe through center. Lower your feet down. Okay, now I have a towel handy here. So basically, I'm going to grab both ends of the towel. I'm going to have to let go of the towel to make this work, but eventually that is what I'm holding on to. So you can let one of your hands go. We'll let the left hand go. Keep holding your towel in your right hand. Now cross your right ankle in front of the left leg. Start to take your left knee up in towards your chest. Now we're going to take the towel and bring it in between your legs. What we're trying to do is sweep it underneath so that you can grab it with your left hand. Now I'm flexing both of my heels, and I'm going to use the towel to try to pull that left leg as close to my chest as possible. Now you may be way all the way over here, that's okay, but you want to challenge yourself to a stretch. Now you may decide, oh, I don't need the towel. I'm going to interlace my fingers and pull in that way. That's great. So here we go. 5 breaths. Inhale 1. Exhale, give the leg a squeeze. Inhale 2. Exhale, give the leg a squeeze. Inhale, you can relax. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale 2. Draw it in. And last one. Draw it in. Okay, release the towel or release the hands. Take both your feet onto the ground. Now, if you're using the towel, hold the towel with your left hand. We're going to cross your left ankle in front of the right thigh. And then drawing that knee up, bring the towel in between the legs, and then you've got to reach around to grab it with your right hand. Now, I'll start with my hands way out wide, but you can, of course, either come in closer on the towel, or if you're ready for it, interlace your fingers around the back of the leg. Now, every time we breathe out, we squeeze. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze the knee. Inhale, let it relax. Exhale, squeeze it in. Inhale, 3. Squeeze it in. Inhale, 4. Squeeze it in. Inhale, 5. Squeeze it in. Excellent. Release that. Both feet down onto the ground. Again, we're going to lift the tailbone up. Try to round the lower back onto the earth. Cross your right ankle in front of the left knee. And then watch my left foot. I'm going to toe heel it over to the outer edge of the mat. You might want to get a block handy here. So get your block ready. Because what I'm going to do is toe heel that foot actually off of the mat. And then I start to draw the knee in. Yeah? So if this is too much, you get a block handy. And you use it again underneath that crease of the knee to place the knee on that block. It requires a little bit of trial and error to make sure that the block's not going to fall. But once the leg is supported, then try to relax into it. If you can, you'll take the block to its medium height and do the exact same thing. Or if you're ready for it, and this is very advanced, you can even release that leg to the ground. But as I'm looking down my body, I want this left leg straight off of the left side of my body. Open your arms, and we'll breathe here for 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Take your time to come up. Move the block. Toe heel that left foot back in line with your left hip. Place the right foot down. Now the left ankle crosses. Get your block handy. Toe heel the right foot probably all the way off of your mat. Then get the left block or the block ready underneath the left leg. As my knee drops over, I've got to catch the leg somehow onto the block. So if you need to lift up to get it there, that is okay. Once you get the block placed, release down. If you decide that you have more space, block on its medium height, even the lowest height. Or if you decide you don't need the block at all, let the leg go. Be careful of this knee though. If the knee hurts, come up higher. Now am I dropping that leg as I look down the right side of my body. Everything is in alignment. And then I let the arms open. 5 breaths for 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Slowly come out of it. Be very gentle. Move your block. Toe heel the right foot back in line with the hip. Put your left foot onto the ground. Excellent. We're going to take 5 more rolling bridges. We did this before. So walking your feet in towards your seat. Inhale, lift the hips, arms up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up slowly. Exhale, arms down. Make sure your knees are not going wide. Press into the big toe mounds as we lift. Exhale down. One last time, lifting up. And exhale, lower down. Excellent. Give your knees a little wash side to side. See if you can, lift your legs up, hold on to your hamstrings underneath the knee, and start to pull your knees wide of your ribs towards the chest. You may decide you have more space, so you can reach up and try to grab onto your ankles and pull the knees even closer. And then lastly, although do your best, it may not work, you can hold on to the outer blades of your feet with your hands. Wherever you're holding on, let's hold on 5 breaths. Inhale, a little rock side to side. 4, 3, pull and kick. 2, and 1. Excellent. Go ahead and release your feet down. Take your legs out long. Lift the tailbone off the ground. Tuck the lower back onto the earth. My feet are as wide as the mat. My palms face up. I'll press into the elbows to squeeze the shoulder blades back behind you. And resting here. Slowly start to bend the knees. Walk your feet in towards your seat. Drop your knees over to the right. Roll onto your right side. You can use your arm as a pillow. Yeah. And then taking a breath in. With your exhale, push your way all the way up to a seat. Cross your legs out in front of you. Let your hands rest on your knees. Draw the chin forward, over to the left. Look up to the ceiling, over to the right. Lower the chin to the chest, over to the right. Look up to the ceiling, over to the left. And drop the chin to the chest. And then tip yourself all the way up. Look right. All the way up. Look left. Look forward. Look right. Look forward. Look right. Look forward. Look left. Look forward. Namaste.